Today is also Monday. It's an important day for Salah ala Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We usually will go to the part 3 of the PDF, but we want to do the Salah ala Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So if you could go to Dala'il al-Khayrat, the section for Monday, which we read now. We usually start by reciting the niyat for the recitation of the dala'il. We'll recite the niyat, and then we'll do the Hizb al-Dhikr, the chapter for Monday, and then we'll do the dua at the end of that. Again, this is part of our daily practices that we do, just in particular for this event that the world community, as I said, and the human community experiencing nowadays. However, those who have time in normal times commit themselves to these sort of recitations daily. These are only part of what they read on those days. Lakin, alhamdulillah, because of this event that we are all passing, greater number of us have the time to participate and partake in this. However, human beings we are, those of us who are not used to this, please do not compel yourself to sit and recite with us. Sometimes because one is not used to these things, sometimes it might be because of the length of time it takes, and it is beyond their ability to concentrate or to sit still or to do these things. So whatever you take, and whatever you're able to, for the duration of time and the length of time you're able to participate, please do participate. And if you find that you have other things, pressing things, or other things that you want to do, please go ahead and do those. As we said, we are here on behalf of the human community. And it is not possible that we say we are here on behalf of everyone, and the divine will say, no, you're only here on behalf of yourselves. Or it is not possible that we wish everyone to benefit from this, and then the answer would be, no, you can only be the ones for the benefit. That's not possible. So we are here on everybody, and everybody should now, what a great opportunity, at the comfort of your own home, whether you have a desktop or a laptop or a phone, that you can hear this, and you can connect it to a Bluetooth speaker, and it booms into the house. And you can be doing anything, or you can be lying down or sitting on a couch where you can be comfortable. I am sitting on my chair, and I am very happy to be amongst you. And these are some of the things that one does on a daily basis, alhamdulillah. And I'm also grateful to Allah to have given me this opportunity to share these things with you. So please do not feel. Sometimes because of the length of the time, when I look at now and see that it is over 2 hours, I am very, very reluctant to say, let's finish it now. And I'm happy to end this now. However, there's someone who might have just joined in, or someone who, while he has joined in and came back, because we also look, the statistics are there that says how many people, what is the average login time, and so on. So we are aware that people log in and go out, and log in and go out, and log in and go out. Therefore, it is because of that. We do not want to make a burden on anyone. We don't want to commit or buttonhole down anybody. Do whatever you want to do, and come back whenever you come back. We are carrying on. This is like, this is, for us, it's the best thing that we can fill this time for us. And this we have taken upon ourselves to make this is almost a spiritual retreat for us. In spiritual retreats, Sometimes they say you have to retreat in order to advance. So this is a divine retreat for all of mankind and for the world community and for the community of mankind and for our human community of our time. We are forced into this beautiful retreat, a beautiful seclusion. Well, that's the way we look at it. It's a beautiful khalwa, it's a beautiful seclusion, and it's a beautiful retreat. Hopefully, and inshallah, with determination and with vigor and with energy, we will. This is a retreat in order to advance strides and giant quantum leaps forward and exponentially forward. All of us as one human race, I hope. So at the moment, and as I said in other times, and say now, everyone of the world community and of the human community, not just people of our time now who are experiencing this, but all the previous communities and all the future communities, according to the sacred revelation that we spoke about earlier, we are going to be somehow, and again, very strange, because scientists, when they have an intellectual inquiry and an intellectual hypothesis, and the scientists are always looking for solutions, looking for answers, meaning they are looking for the truth. And some of them, because of their self-immersion in the science and being surprised by their own findings and what the sciences tell us, ultimately become ideologues, and they become philosophers. It is not surprising to find that people who study, for instance, microbiology or human biology or marine marinology or astrophysics or astronomy, or, as we said earlier, quantum mechanics or quantum physics, about all of those, you've seen them, all of them, all the quantum physicists, when they spoke about linear life, and you talk about the third dimension and the fourth dimension and the fifth, they are trying to find answers. They're seekers after the truth. They become, as I said, the ideologues and the philosophers of their era and of their time. And some of them more than others just, they do it for the sake of it being a scientific inquiry. But for others, they look at the scientific inquiry and they do not think that the scientific inquiry or the findings that they find as an end of a scientific, or as a result of the scientific inquiry, is an end in itself. Rather, it's a means to resolve the ancient human interest of finding the truth and solving and unraveling the mystery of creation and life and the purpose of life, and to try to find answers for the eternal questions. Is there another form of life? Is there an end of life as we see it? I have been reading lots and lots and lots of the very advanced scientific inquiries in different disciplines. And what, for the independent observer, if there's such, for the intellectual human beings who read, who is not a scientist in himself, but is eager and is a fellow brother human of those scientists, to benefit from the incredible time and sacrifices that they make and the efforts that they make. So for the intellectual and the person who searches and who's the seeker of the truth, when you look at these different disciplines and the findings of those people who dedicate so much time of their life and of their time of their lives, teams and teams and teams, trying to finding truth and finding answers and finding solution and finding answers and finding new findings that are not known to man before. When I look at all of them, and any independent intellectual thinker who would look at these things, and any independent observer who will observe their findings, they will find the amazing stark fact that comes, and you cannot deny it, that in fact in their inquiries, while they're looking for, as we said, for these age-old and eternal questions about existence, end of existence, resurrection, coming back into a new form of life, and what description is this new form of life? I have found, and they have found, that this life as we experience it, and this life on Earth, and the life on the galaxies, and the galaxies and the orbits, and the galactical universe, and the universe as it exists, will come to an end, is speedily heralding itself towards a point of extinction, if you want to call it, or destruction, if you want to call it, of an end, if you want to call it whatever. They say that's in the distance. Distance, not near, but distance, near future. And they all speak about an observation that in the far, far, far future, there will be a new beginning and a new life. And that life will be very different from this, but seems like the giving purposes and the giving components and the constituents of this new life will make it almost without an end. Amazing. That's science. That the end is coming and that there is a new beginning, and then there is a life. As I said, it's in the sacred text, all of the sacred texts, and in all religions, and it's now confirmed by all the different disciplines in science. There is an end. But in our tradition, we are told on that end, all of us as a human community will come together, and we will be seeking also again. We wanted the event of us coming together, being summoned up, like we are summoned up now, into being at home, locked down. Almost a situation like this, that for all, look at that, half of the people of theirs are on lockdown. It is not impossible then, it is not an impossibility, it is a possibility that we could all be summoned up and gathered and brought together into another lockdown on the situation where we will all be locked down, and we will be confronted with a challenge, confronted that, like we are now. We are sometimes, if we allow ourselves to reflect about our own lives, we can bring like a video recording, audio-visual recording of ourselves, of all the different events that passed in our lives, who, what, when, where, how. Revelation, all previous religions tell us we are all heading to that lockdown somewhere in the future. And oh, then when each and every one of us will see an audio-visual recording. Do you know in China, when this lockdown, this current lockdown took place in China, on Wuhan, how they were able to do it? Because once they know a person, because of all these cameras that are all over the place, it is estimated that they have more than 300 million cameras. That these cameras all over the city, and because of the use also of the 5G, has enabled them to be able to do a lot of cloud computing and very fast processing of information. And because these cameras are super smart cameras, so they all have face recognition, and they all link as soon as they have the face recognition, because it's the speed with which they process information, they're able to bring a face and put an ID number to it. And face ID number, then it can look at the medical record. Then it can look at all the other information about the person. And if the person has shown the symptoms of the coronavirus or has the symptoms of it, it traces them back. How long has it been? It traces their movement, like the last week, through all the cameras, when they got out of their house, in public transportation, where they went, what they've done, and it traces all of those in order to bring all the people that he came into close communication with and to warn them that this person was a carrier of the corona, and have any of them shown their symptoms, and that they should go to a testing center to be tested. Why I'm not saying that for that? I am saying that, do you understand? There is already, with this arrival of new technology, there will be an audio-visual record of all of our movements. So do not be surprised when we say there will be a future lockdown that we will all be in, and each one of us will have before him a display of sorts, where you will see all your actions and movements displayed before you, audio visual. Not only that, your inward feelings, what you were hiding when you spoke and said what you said, what was inside you, will also be put forward. Your motivations will come with it. Like when the face recognition pulls your face, it pulls your ID and pulls your medical record and it pulls your movement. So when you come with everything you've uttered, everything you've done, and everything you've harbored, all your feelings. We're coming to that. All these new scientific disciplines and scientific inquiries tell us we're coming to that. Revelation tells us we're coming to that. And on that situation, we are now looking for someone to find a vaccine to end this lockdown. We will all be looking at someone who has a vaccine, is like a code to decode this virus, to stop that virus, to antidote that virus, to stop that. We will all looking for someone. If somebody comes now and he says, I have the solution, I have the antidote, I have the vaccine, try it and test it. Try me, I have the vaccine, I have the vaccine. What would we say? Let's try it. Have it, please. Or if we all gathered now and somebody says, it's this scientific institution has the vaccine. We'll go to them, do you have the vaccine? And they say, no, I don't have it. I'm still researching, but that scientific institution has the vaccine. So we leave that scientific institution and we go to the new one and say, do you have it? They say, we're still researching, we're in an advanced stage, but we don't have it. They have it. And they keep turning you till you come to one lab and one institution. Do you have the vaccine? They say, yes, we have it, and we have it. Please give us, dispense it. Relieve all of us. We are told through this sacred texture and through this sacred text, and this proved and confirmed by the scientific findings that there will be an end, that there's a day we will all be gathered, and we will all be seeking a solution for that gathering and for the unlock, for the lockdown, to unlock that situation. And we will go trying to find, and there will be one person who will have the code and who's able to unlock our lockdown on that day to relieve us from this lockdown. But that person has the key for that magnanimous event. And he's a person who is most compassionate and most caring for the human community. In fact, he was only sent to bring peace, compassion, equity, love, and care, and sharing, and assistance, and taking care, and overlooking, and being of the best of character traits, and bringing good into the world of community. And he did not keep that to himself, and he exercised that, but he promoted that to us, and he left us a tradition with so many of the people who lived there during his time who practiced that and proved for us, demonstrated to us beyond doubt that if you practice kindness and compassion and generosity and humility and caring and sharing and desiring good and desiring wellness to everybody, it means your own personal prosperity and advancement, and it is possible. It is possible. It's the best way of taking care of your own self. And as they shared that and they demonstrated that, there has been successful successful people across the successive generations who followed in their footsteps. And you see them around the world. You see them around the world. They have followed in their footsteps. That person, I think, if we go to him now, as he was, and he will, and he is there, if we invoke and establish a communication links and connection with him, and if we, as gentle as he is, as kind as he is, we request from him to intercede in this minor event here, to relieve mankind from this event, as he is going to be the one who will relieve us from that maximum super event. I think he will, as he looked, that he would unlock the future one, and he is come to unlock situations. He will unlock our situations if we ask him sincere enough, and we ask him with love enough, and we've asked him with true belief that his intercession would work for us and that he has a solution. We will read whatever that we will be reading now. It will be addressed to that noble, compassionate, most compassionate of all humans that stepped and walked this earth. He belongs to every single human on this earth. And he cares for every single human on this earth, irrespective, unconditional of anything, and unconditional. He is molded, if you can, the constituents, the matter that he was made of, and the way he was molded, like all of us, but it is all about compassion. It's all about caring for everyone else. That's his role. He is the ultimate manifestation of divine compassion. The ultimate manifestation of caring, genuine caring, of genuine concern for the well-being and the welfare of others. The ultimate manifestation for being there for people at the time of their need. Ultimate manifestation of desiring the best for everyone. We will, and his name you all know. I don't need to say anything. You all know that whatever religion you follow, whichever culture you follow, you know who I'm referring to. You all know him. It's one man, and you all know him. Think again, you'll find yourself knowing. Everyone on the face of earth, from the beginning of time till the end of time, have heard of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. That's Muhammad. So we will be enjoying singing the praise of Muhammad and besieging Muhammad to interfere and to intercede on behalf of the people of our time. And we all have certitude, the absolute certitude, that he will intercede on our behalf, and the situation will ease, and hardship will be replaced with ease, and soon, despite the worst scenarios that we hear about. We hope there are no worst scenarios, no bad scenarios, period. Please share with us. No commitment. You don't have to do anything. It's very easy actually to also read this if you have never read this language. It's a simple language. If you know the alphabet, every letter that is written is pronounced. There's no silent letters. There is no letters that are there that has no value or that has no meaning. Every letter has a value, has timing, is pronounced, has an audio sound, and it's easy and accessible. It's so easy. Try it. Just try the alphabet and you know what the alphabet is, right? Put few letters next to each other and pronounce them, and ask someone who's an expert. You'll say, yes, you pronounce it right. So it's about the speed of being able to read, and you will get that, as we always do. And human beings now are so intelligent, and we're going to be even more intelligent when we have hybrid intellect. We're soon going to connect to all this information and to all these knowledges that are based in the cloud or in the sets. We're all going to be connecting to it, and we all have hybrid thinking, and we all have hybrid intellect, and we will be able to read that. And we were told that future generations at the age of 5, they would be able to pass all the knowledges that we take through the 13 years of education, Key Stage 1, Key Stage 2, Key Stage 3, and university, they would be able to give it to the 6 years old in a matter of months, and he will have it. We are all going to become super that, so we'll be able to read languages. But if we're going to be that, it means it's latent on us. All it needs is just, we find a way to get it out.